Hello again, everybody. This is Mr. Andrews, and today we're on day 2 of the Chapter 11 and 12 project. A quick look today on the two people, Hamilton and Jefferson. Some may say that they are the godfathers of political parties. Hamilton and Jefferson both part of the cabinet for Washington, and Hamilton then continues on with part of the cabinet for John Adams as well. Remember, as we did our reading, Hamilton is a member of the Federalist Party. The Federalist Party believed in large government, whereas Jefferson is a member of the Democratic Republicans. In our book, it's called Just the Republicans, and they believed in small government. Remember, the Republicans of Jefferson's time are not the same as the Republicans today. So Jefferson, coming from a farming background, believed in small government with people making decisions for themselves. Hamilton thought that people were really not able to make those decisions, that large businesses and people with a lot of money and the aristocrats should be making the decisions, and that's why he believed in a large government taking care of people. All right, the Federalists, Hamilton believed in big business, an economy, our country built on a large businesses making money, the manufacturing idea, whereas Jefferson and the Republicans, they believed in small farmers, taking care of each other and having government just there to protect them. The Federalists, Hamilton again, sided with Great Britain because Great Britain was a business partner, and they believed that having Great Britain as a partner supported their businesses and could create more wealth for each of them. Whereas Republicans and Jefferson sided with France. Remember, Great Britain and France are constantly fighting, all right, and in war with one another. Jefferson sided with the French because the French people at the time were trying to get their freedom, much like we had done here in the States. And part of the reason Hamilton and the Federalists didn't like the French was they were worried about the French people and killing, or at least taking away, a lot of the money that the aristocrats in France had, so much so that they were worried about their abilities here in the United States to continue the way that they were living. Continuing on, the Federalists and Hamilton believed that as far as the Constitution was concerned, it was to be read loosely. In other words, there was wiggle room inside the Constitution to create other departments, we'll see in a minute, whereas Republicans and Jefferson believed in strict construction or strong construction of the Constitution. The word of the Constitution is what it is. There was no wiggle room in it. And when we get to the wiggle room, we're talking about a national bank or a federal bank. I'm going to ask you to look on to the next clip to see a little bit of Hamilton and Jefferson from the John Adams HBO special talking about the bank system. Hamilton suggested we take on the state debt and convince other countries then to lend us money because we are in charge of that. Jefferson was a little bit upset with that because he felt government was just getting bigger and bigger. Hamilton wanted to then take the money that would be given to them from other countries, lending us money, and using that money to build businesses larger. Hamilton, remember, loose construction of the Constitution. He felt the elastic clause in the Constitution gave the government the right to create this national or federal bank, whereas Jefferson felt that was not the reason for having that in the Constitution. Jefferson felt that the banks should be done at a state level, that a local community should have control of that, and it's not in the Constitution. Again, Jefferson being a strict construction or strong construction and believing the word of the Constitution having just that word. Banks, on the other hand, would not lend to farmers to buy land, which didn't make Jefferson very happy either. All right, that's it for today's little comments on these two slides, Jefferson and Hamilton. Remember, both of them are part of Washington's cabinet, at least for a while. Jefferson's going to leave in a few more lessons. Today, what I'd like you to do is, if you've watched this, that's great. There's a clip underneath this one, Hamilton versus Jefferson, John Adams, and then if you really would like to see something a little bit more, there's a little clip someone produced called I Hate Hamilton, and you can watch that. That's it for today's lesson. I will see you tomorrow.